Shalom, YouTube. This is Sister T,
Sister Ebony.
And Sister Tay.
and welcome again to The Rock. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a short topic. My sisters and I are out here, and right now I'm pointing the camera at one of the garden areas that we have because we are starting our fall gardens, and we just planted some of these today. Our master dug some rows, and we finished it up, and planted the seeds and cover them, and we just had a couple days of rain, so that was great. And when we were out here, we were discussing, how we're getting this garden in, and we were excited about the rain, and how because we haven't had rain in a while. The expectancy in the summer is we get certain amount of rain, through the months of June, July, and August. And so every year in our gardens, we have been able to get this rain, and our plants grow, and we were expecting a harvest, in the spring and the summer. And this summer was a little bit different. And, in the months of June, we got no rain at all, and almost the whole month of July as well, which is very unusual. And we were talking about how we expected this rain, and we were really excited for this spring garden season this year because we were wanting to grow all these different things, and, we thought things were going to go as normal. And we were talking about how these expectations, we had all these expectations, and it exposed some areas where when certain plants started to die because it needed more water, and the rain was not coming, certain things didn't last as long. And we were noticing, how we just expect it. And that's really how that happens in our lives. We were relating it to, that's what happens with us. We have these expectations of something to happen in our lives. So what we do is, because we expect this to happen, or something to happen in a certain situation, we do not move ourselves, or we do not improve the situation. We do not prepare for what happens if it doesn't happen. What happens if the rain doesn't come? What are you going to do? In our more personal lives, in marriage, you can apply this in marriage or friendships or in anything. Okay, this is what you expect to happen, but what happens when it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't fall, what if it doesn't go the way you expected it? Do you have a backup plan? And a lot of times we were able to identify some of the areas in our own personal lives, whether it been in marriage, friendships, the way we prepare to do our chores. We always had these expectations. And whenever things didn't go as planned, we didn't have a backup plan. We realized we didn't even prepare because we just expected it to turn out the way we thought it was going to be. We just always expected the next step to happen. We never had really a backup plan. And that's what we wanted to share with you today. And then one of the things I was thinking of why this video would be helpful is because, like I said before, in past times, sisters speak to us in videos, or they call, they email us, and, they ask questions because they see what is happening on the rock. And they'll ask us questions about marriage or getting married and stuff like that, and why haven't they found an Israelite man yet, or why aren't they married yet, and things like that. And they feel like they've met all the requirements to at least be married, or maybe a man would, accept them. And the problem is the same thing. It's like all these expectations. The right biblical man might have already been there, but because they had this expectation of what he was supposed to look like, they'll just bypass the opportunity, and then they didn't think about the next step. Okay, well, if you're going to bypass that man, what's next? Do you have another plan of how you're going to be covered, or how you're going to take care of these things if you are being picky and choosy because you have this expectation that Mr. Right looks like this guy over here, or what you had in your mind? Because a lot of times what we get is not necessarily, don't come the way we expect it to. It's sometimes just totally different than what we expect. And so, expectations sometimes can lead to our failure if we're not careful, because expectations can keep us from moving. Our expectations could have us look right past what we've been needing our whole lives, what's been right in front of us our whole life. Expectations sometimes don't even allow us to change because we have all these expectations. We expect the next person to do something instead of us getting up and doing something. So I just wanted to share that. These were some thoughts that, that me and the sisters, or I started discussing with the sisters. And, we can have some good conversations when we start thinking about these things. It was eye opener for us, nonetheless. Just thinking, all starting from agricultural living, thinking about the rain and our expectancy in these plants to grow and thrive, and our expectancy of the rain. You know, you're supposed to come, so I know you're coming because this is what you always do. This is what you're designed to do, so you're going to show up. And then it didn't show up. And you know, so that's what I wanted to share today. What do you think, Ebony? Okay, we're back. Before I was rudely interrupted. No, I made a mistake, but you know, Sister Taylor is gonna speak a little bit on expectations.
Yes, so expectations are definitely something that can mess us up in life as we have all these expectations of things that we expect our life to look like, which can make us very rigid. With expectation comes a set and guidelines of rigidity where we will not be flexible to other options. There's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way of doing things. It may not be the way we foresee it. However, if the job, the task, the future can be done or accomplished, we have to be flexible and to say that it's not our way of living, it's Yah's way. And we have to humble ourselves to accept that and to surrender that kind of control. It is not a very easy thing, and it's something that all people have to learn. Men have to surrender control and humble themselves before Yah. Women have to surrender and humble themselves before their husband. So the more we practice and keep that at the forefront of our minds to actually realize our expectations mean nothing. And I mean, that doesn't mean not have a blueprint, some kind of foreseeable future. You don't want a complete blank slate. You want to have some idea, but you don't want to have such a detailed, well-planned step 1, step 1A, step 1B, step 2, step 2A, and so on and so forth, which just to be set yourself up for failure.
And I would like to add to that just that shortly that, you know, men may be able to plan that deeply because they are the leaders, they are the head, they're the ones with the vision, and we got to be able to prepare. But especially if you're just coming, you know, you're looking for marriage and you're looking for headship, you know, you're not going to be ordering your steps to that detail. You know, you may have to, you know, when you get married, your master, your husband will be ordering your steps in that way as Yah leads him. So if you try to plan this perfectly and think you have this great plan, a lot of times you're going to miss what's right in front of you. So your head's going to come, the man that Yah's given to cover you, and you won't see it. You won't say, he don't look right. No, he doesn't do this. And this is what I know, or this is what I think a holy man does, or a man of Yah does. And that expectation you have in your mind of what a holy man, a righteous man looks like, he wouldn't live in the woods, or he you know, I expect him to make a certain amount of money. I mean, just all those different things can be expectations, and those expectations could lead to our failure or us missing out on a blessing that Yah is trying to give us. So we want to be careful with these expectations. And when we be careful with expectations, the point is, so to prepare and plan, you know, you can expect something, but always think about what happens if it doesn't happen this way. Now what? And maybe if you ask yourself that question, you know, you can think a little deeper into it and prepare. You know, maybe hopefully it'll lead to more of a prepared mindset. If this doesn't happen, this is what I have to do next.
Yes, I agree.
All right, well, didn't want to be long before you.
I'll
But
add real quick.
yes.
Just add on to what Tanisha and Sister Tanisha and Sister Tay, expectation. Sister Taylor mentioned about being rigid. So that being rigid can not allow you to learn and to change from the things that may come up or that you may see did not work, or things you may have learned from either research or other people who have been through the things that you are been through some things already and have learned from it and can give you advice or some things to think about, and having certain expectations which cause you to be rigid, and that can cause you not to learn and to
and not able to change your thought pattern of certain things, and can hinder you. And so I just wanted to add that. I had another thought, but now I forgot.
Yes. So, as you said, wasn't gonna be long before you. We just want to share that and hope that you all can benefit from that information. And you single sisters who are seeking a covering, just keep that in mind. What are your expectations, and to not let your expectation cause you to miss out on your covering that could be right there in front of you. With that being said, shalom and blessings.
Shalom.
Shalom.